All right, guys, step 9. We've made it this far. We're almost there. We've got a deal under contract, and now we need to find a buyer for our deal, right? So this is really called the disposition phase of the process. This is, the part where we need to build relationships with our buyers in the future so we can move these deals easily. But you're a newbie, you're just learning, you got this deal under contract, you might have a few buyers, email addresses, some phone numbers, but you don't really know these buyers that well. So what do? The first thing is you need to determine the assignment fee markup. So this step is really all about how good the deal is. And if you've got a slam dunk deal, don't feel guilty marking that deal up 15, 20K. Buyers will gladly pay that much money for a deal or more. They feel like that they're getting a good deal and there's enough meat left on the bone. So I had to overcome that fear when I first started. I marked everything up 5K, 6K, 7K. I was worried that my buyers were going to think that I was getting greedy and asking for too much money, but I quickly found out that couldn't be further from the truth. Cash buyers are willing to pay hefty assignment fees as long as they're getting a good deal. Obviously, they would love to pay less, right? But so really it's the deal, right? If you have a more questionable deal, definitely don't ask for 20K. I would say aim for 5 to 10K, somewhere in that range. My average deal size is a little over 10K. That has gone down a little bit at the end of 2022, just with the market kind of slowing down. I think earlier in the year and then last year we were more 13, 14,000. So I strongly suggest for your first few deals, if you are a newbie, you partner with another wholesaler, somebody who knows the business, who has buyer relationships, and just split the assignment fee 50-50. So it's still, hey, if you're splitting 10 grand or 20 grand, you're still doing pretty well. So that's my biggest suggestion if you are a newbie. Figure out the assignment fee markup, mark up the deal. So how do you market your deal to cash buyers? Let's say you do have a buyer's list. Let's say you've got, maybe 30, 40 people on that list. You followed my steps and my direction in step 8. You've built up some buyers from Facebook and some other resources. So what do? My suggestion, especially when you're new, and I'll keep referencing that, is to reach out to these buyers directly. Hopefully you got their phone number, but if not, email's fine. Contact them directly. Tell them you got a deal. Buyers appreciate that. They feel like, you're giving them an opportunity to evaluate the deal, maybe to go see it first. And that's a great way to build relationships versus sending out like an email blast to hundreds of buyers. So direct outreach, and I even do that today. I have a massive buyers list, but direct outreach it works, and it's a great way to build relationships quickly. Once you do have an established buyers list and you have, over 100 people on that list, it's not going to be efficient to reach out to all those buyers directly, right? Sending an email to everyone, calling everyone, texting everyone. So what do? That's when we start getting into email blasts. I use MailChimp. Check out the blog post for this. I wrote an entire article on using MailChimp and how to, what my marketing looks like. So there's a lot of other services out there, email marketing services. So MailChimp works for me. It's worked well. So Facebook marketing. I post my deals on Facebook pages. And these are going to be the same groups back in step 8 that we joined and built up our buyers list, asked for emails. It's going to be those same investor groups. Post your deal, check the rules first. Usually they want, address, price, information. Like, for example, the one that I am a member, they don't want any listed properties posted. So keep that in mind. But Facebook has been a great resource for me. And it's another way to maybe if you had somebody interested, but they don't buy it, well, now you've got another potential buyer for a future deal. And then again, JV your deal with another wholesaler. I can't stress this enough. That's what I did to get started. Probably my first 15 or 20 deals, I really leaned on this wholesaler who had a massive buyers list at the time, and he knew almost every buyer in our market. And so he helped me move my deals very quickly. And that is important when you're a newbie because you gain momentum. And then what also happens is when you go out on these walkthroughs and showings, you meet these buyers. And a lot of times, they're just going to reach out to you direct. They're going to want to know, hey, if you got deals, hey, here's my number. Here's my email. Let me know. And I don't look at that as stealing this other wholesaler's buyers. At the end of the day, eventually you're going to probably meet all the same buyers that the other guy introduced you to in the first place. So really important to JV deals initially. Getting the buyers through the property, that's really the last thing I wanted to talk about in this step. Obviously, if the house is vacant, that's going to be the easiest to show. You can put a lockbox on the property. Usually, the seller will give you permission to do that if it's vacant, and you can get buyers in there pretty easily. if it's tenant occupied or if it's owner occupied. It presents a little bit more of a challenge, but you just have to be very open and upfront with the seller. Let them know, hey, we're going to need to get into this house a couple of times. I want to bring my investor partners through, my contractors, or in the event that you were very transparent, you told the seller you're going to bring your buyers through, that's fine. So make sure that they understand there might be a couple of showings, hopefully only one, but kind of position yourself in a way where, hey, there could be more than one, and most of the time they're going to be just fine with that. Just make sure it happens in that inspection period. We recommend 10 or 15 days for your inspection period, and we talked about that in an earlier step. So that's pretty much it. That's step 9, and step 10, we're going to talk about reviewing the offers, final negotiations, and then closing the deal with your local title company. We are almost to the finish line. Hopefully this has helped you understand the process so far, and we'll wrap things up here in step 10. So stay tuned.